Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nityanamine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatyavishattarine. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasa Digo Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Today is, according to English calendar, Srila Prabhupada's disappearance, 14th November 1977, 47th anniversary, I think. We will quickly sing Jai Anila Prema Dhama. Jai Anila Prema Dhama, Karuna Pracho. Kota Yela Acharya Commentaries. Swarup Kaha Sanatan Kaha Das Raghu Natha Patita Pavan Kahora Bhatta Juga Mahakavira Raghu Kahada Ek Kahadas Raghu Nata Patita Pavan Kahadas Raghu Nata Patita Pavan Bhakta Juga Mahakavira Kale Kuthai Gela Purana Jara Ashane kutibo maka Honale pashibo Era nidhi tota gele pavo Saba sangira sange ye koilo bila se sangana se sangana paibe ka to no kamada se sangana paiya kate narotamada se sanga na paiya kane narotamada Vaishnavera Sangha Mange E Adhamada Dayal Vaishnava Thakur Srila Prabhupada Vaishnava Thakur Srila Prabhupada 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 Jaya 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 Radha Vrindavan Bihari Radha Vrindavan Bihari Shri Radhe Jaya Shri Gauranga Radha Vrindavan Bihari Radha Vrindavan Bihari Shri Radhe Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manoyavishtam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandiham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagada Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadadvaitam Savadutam परिजन सहितं श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य देव श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सगण ललिता श्री विशाखा वेदांश्च जयतां सुरतो पंगो मम मन्दमतेर्गति मत्सर्वस्व पदाम्भोजौ राधा मदन मोहनो दिव्य वृंदारण्य कल्पद्रुमात् श्रीमद् रत्नांगद सिंहासनस्थो श्री श्रील राधा गोविंद देव प्रेष्ठलीवि सेव्यमानो स्मरामि श्रीमान् रासरसारम्भी वंशीवटस्थितः कर्षणे स्वनेर्वेणुर्गोपी श्रीगोपीनाथाय श्रेयस्तु नः आजानुलम्बितो भुजौ कनकायवधातो संकीर्तनैर्पितरवो कमलायताक्षो विश्वम्भरो द्विजवरो युगधर्मपालो वन्दे जगत्प्रियकरो करुणा अवतारो नवनीरदनिन्दित कान्तिधर रससागर नागर भूपवरं शुभवङ्किमचारु शिखण्डशिखिं भज कृष्णानिधिं व्रजराजसुतं भज कृष्णानिधिं व्रजराजसुतं राधिका सरोदेन्दु निन्दिमुखमण्डले वन्दिये श्रीपादपद्म वृषभानुनन्दिनी वन्दिये श्रीपादपद्म वृषभानुनन्दिनी वन्दिये श्रीपादपद्म वृषभानुनन्दिनी। Hare Krishna. Welcome everyone, personally who are present and all the listeners online, to the third session of Sri Guruvashtakam, commonly known as the Mangalarti. I seek the blessings of each one of you so that I can speak this subject matter as it is for the pleasure of Sri Sri Guruho and Gauranga, for the pleasure of all the Gauriya Guru Varga. Hare Krishna. So Prabhu has asked me to very, very briefly recap yesterday. So yesterday we discussed the first verse, Samsara Davanala Lida Loka Pranaya Karunya Ganagana Praptasya Kalyana Gunarnavasya Vande Guruho Sri Charanavata. So it starts with samsara, and samsara means a cycle, a repetition. So for us, those who are in this dehatma buddhi or the material body conception, this is a repeated cycle of birth, uh, old age, disease, and death. A continuous cycle, no matter which species of life we take birth according to our karma. And that is kind of one meaning. And the second meaning is it is for those devotees, those personalities, very, very advanced devotees, pure devotees, our acharyas, Gauri acharyas, they feel that this entire, they are being consumed by a forest fire of separation, vipralambha. As we know, even it is very specific, more so in Srila Gaur Kishodas Babaji's Pranam Mantra, Nama Gaur Kishoraya Sakshat Vairagya Murte, Vipralambha, Prasambhude Padam Bhujaite. So that Vipralambha means deep separation. Because Srimati Radharani feels deep separation from Krishna constantly, her associates, especially the Priya Narva Sakhis and Pran Sakhis. Priya Narva Sakhis are the examples of the Ashta Sakhis, etc. The Swapaksha gopis, the gopis in her camp, and the Manjaris, the much younger adolescent young girls in Raj who have been assigned a very, very special seva known as Nikunja Seva, and many other sevas, very confidential sevas, where they are actually servants of the Ashtasakis, but at the same time, their position is amazing and so uh, amazingly great that even Srimati Radharani is most fond of them, and even Sri Krishna, he takes their help, especially when Srimati Radharani is upset or she goes into sulkiness or man mood. So that fire of separation, just now we just sang, today being according to the English calendar, Srila Prabhupada's disappearance, 14 November 1977. Many, many Srila Prabhupada disciples also felt their pain uh, upon Srila Prabhupada's leaving. Vaishnavas are generally, and especially the advanced Vaishnavas, the Acharyas, they are extremely very happy because they know they are not this body, they are the spirit soul, and they are eternally servants of Srimati Radharani and Krishna. So they are completely aware of their true ego. They are never on the platform of false ego. So there is no question of any kind of distress or unhappiness. But they are unhappy, para dukhe dukhi, because of uh, the, uh, the mass populace. They don't know that they are suffering. Some know and some don't. So because of them, Tranaya Karunya Ghana Ghanatva. Therefore, the Acharya comes to extinguish this forest fire like suffering of the three uh, different types, Adhyatmic, Adibhautik, and Adidevik kleshas, and to extract us from this material world, to take us to that highest spiritual platform of Vrindavan. So that is the mercy. And in separation, Narottam Das Thakur has specifically written some songs, and the two most popular that we know in ISKCON is this one, Je Anila Prema Dhana. In separation, he feels that when he cannot find the association of all these great Vaishnavas, Swarup Damodara Swami, Sanatan Goswami, Rup Goswami, Krishnaraj Kaviraj Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, Jiva Goswami, Gauranga Mahaprabhu himself, he cannot find the association. So he feels out of deep separation, breaking his head on a stone or entering into a great fire and ending his life. So these are the symptoms of separation. We also explained that due to some heavy separation, Srimati Radharani's body is of very high temperature. And although all the Sakhis try to cool her, she cannot. But when it is her seva for Krishna's cooking, when she is cooking and the fire in the kitchen, Raghunath Das Goswami mentions, it feels as if it is cooling effect due to the high temperature of separation that Srimati Radharani feels from Krishna. And that may be just for a couple hours in a day, or sometimes that may be just due to a psychological separation that would happen very soon. So these are the symptoms of the davanal that the pure devotees they feel. The two meanings of the word davanal. They are afflicted. Leader loka pranaya karunya ghanaganotam, and the acharya comes and showers their mercy. So, what is the residence of Srimati Radharani? It is Varshana. So, what does Varshana mean? Varshana means that to shower. What is that showering? Showering her mercy. Karuna Kurumai, Karuna Bharite, Sanaka Sanatana, Varnita Charite, Radhe, Jaya Jaya Madhav Daite. Pranaya Karunya Ghana, Praptasya Kalyana Gunarnavasya. Praptasya, they have, our acharyas have not got this on their own accord. Uh, they have obtained it from their predecessors, from the other acharyas in Rupa Goswami's line, in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's line. One time, when Srila Prabhupada had went to Delhi and saw the then Prime Minister, Mrs. Indira Gandhi, she appreciated Srila Prabhupada. He says that we have heard that you have spread the holy name of Krishna all over the world. So Srila Prabhupada simply with folded hands would say, I am just like a postman. I've repeated my Guru Maharaj's message as it is. A postman uh, goes to villages where a lot of the people are not educated. So the people at the door tell, my dear postman, can you read the letter? And our postman opens the letter and he starts reading. Sometimes at one door there is good news and he reads it as it is. Sometimes at another door there is bad news that such and such a person in your family has passed away in a such and such a town. So, as it is. And that is the beauty of our parampara. That is the pride of our parampara. And it becomes our onus, each one of us, to spread this Krishna consciousness as it is, na buddhaya na tikaya, without any kind of speculation, without using our own brains. Srila Prabhupada sometimes to teach and boldly he used to say, what is the use of your thinking? So our thinking has no meaning. So we have to follow in the footsteps of the Acharyas. Dharmasta tattva nihitam guhyam mahajana jena gata satantraha. Following in the footsteps without manufacturing. So Pranaya Karuna Ghananada Praptasya Kalyan for the benefit of mankind. Now Bhuvi Gridanti Je Bhurita Jana in Gopi Geet. Actually, this was one of the favorite verses of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When King Prataprudra had wanted darshan, and Mahaprabhu rejected because he was a king, because as a sannyasi, an exemplary sannyasi. So sannyasis and brahmacharis should be very careful not to mix with materialistic people. Yes, if one is very, very fructified in their devotion and well versed and mature, then they can do that for preaching purposes. Otherwise, it is forbidden. So Mahaprabhu set that example. And he rejected King Pratapra's audience, thinking, generally speaking, all kings are always, Vishayi people, always, into sense gratification, to set an example. But he knew from the heart of his hearts that King Prataprudra is an ardent devotee of Krishna, Lord Jagannath. So, but this also he did, just like we discussed yesterday. Just like we discussed yesterday, that the Krishna goes to the Bhamya Paksha gopis, meaning Chandravali, Padma, Shaibya, etc., and spends time with them, not only for their satisfaction, but the higher purpose is to create that utkantha in Radharani, to create that burning separation so that whenever the next union happens, it is even sweeter and sweeter than the previous one. So similarly, Mahaprabhu's intent was to create that separation, and by denying audience or darshan to King Prataprudra, he actually created the intensity in King Prataprudra even more, so that whenever that meeting would happen, it would be very intense and it would be very sweet. And that surely happened because King Prataprudra was advised by the associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Puri that one Rath Yatra is coming very soon, and please don't wear your royal dress, wear just a peasant or like a menial servant wears those clothes of a servant and do some menial seva. So, like brooming, taking the broom and cleaning the pathway for the Rath. And then there's a place called Balgandi, somewhere halfway, where there is a garden. And and the Rath would stop there until Mahaprabhu would rest. Until Mahaprabhu's rest was not finished and Mahaprabhu did not come back, the Rath would not move. So Mahaprabhu would rest for a few minutes in that garden, and that's when the associates of Mahaprabhu had asked King Prataprudra to go there when Mahaprabhu is resting, do some charan seva, massage his lotus feet. And please sing Gopi Geet. And especially when he sang this ninth verse of the Gopi Geet, Tava Kathamritam Tapta Jivanam Kavi Vididitam Kalmashapaham Shravana Mangalam Srimadatam Bhuvi Grinanti Je Bhuri Dajana. Je Bhuri Dajana. Je Bhuri Dajana. Indeed, those are the most munificent that go around in the world, Bhuvi Grinanti. They are the most munificent. Uh, Bhuri Dajana. Bhuri means not different from the meaning of most munificent, most kind, the highest donors. Bhuri Da. It's a combination of two words. Bhuri means extreme, and Da means Dan. So Jana means those Vaishnavas who go all over the world simply preaching the glories of Krishna, eradicating the forest fire within their hearts, the Tapatra Unmulanam. Those devotees are indeed the highest benefactors of mankind. And when Mahaprabhu heard that, he immediately got up from his lying position when he had slept, and tears flowed from his eyes, and he repeated that Bhuvi Gridanti Je Bhuri Dajana, Bhuvi Gridanti Je Bhuri Dajana, Bhuvi Gridanti Je Bhuri Dajana. And he hugged King Pratap with the tears of ecstasy flowed between Bhagwan and Bhakta, between Mahaprabhu and King Prataprutra, and Mahaprabhu was extremely pleased. So it is the gopis who sang the glories of the likes of Srila Prabhupada, even then, remembering them that yes, they are indeed the most compassionate. So that is Pranaya Karunya, Gana Ganatva. Praktasya Kalyana Gunarnavasya, and they are the ocean of transcendental qualities. Because Krishna is fully transcendental, Srimati Radharani and her associates are fully transcendental. Because they have understood them completely, Chaitanya, Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam. So it is just not Rupa Goswami has understood the Manobhishtam of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Our Srila Prabhupada has understood the Manobhishtam of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he freely gave the holy name Dinahina Jatachido Hariname Udhariga Tara Sakshi Jagai Madai. Especially as Kali Yuga is progressing, and especially in the countries like the western part of the world, there are so many Jagai Madais, and Prabhupada went there and delivered there. Vaishnava Nam Yatha Shambhu, the topmost Vaishnava is Lord Shiva, and he also delivers the bhoot and pretas, the ghosts and goblins who have committed so many sinful activities and apradhas that they are bereft of a gross body. They are only in a subtle body, and bhoot and pishachas and all. But nobody wants to give them shelter. But Lord Shiva indeed gives them shelter. So Srila Prabhupada has got all these transcendental Gunarnavasya qualities of Radharani, Krishna, Mahaprabhu, Lord Shiva, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and the entire Guru Parampara is within the heart of Srila Prabhupada. And that is so much compassion. One time in Mumbai, Prabhupada always went for morning walks. And there was one Dr. Bhogilal Patel who used to walk with Srila Prabhupada along with Srila Prabhupada's disciples. And he was very philosophical but dry philosophy. We can say that he was well versed with the Vedas, he was well versed with Bhagavad Gita, and also he was more or less Brahmavadi, Mayavadi type of a person. And this was a perfect time for Prabhupada to even preach while he is having his morning walk. And when when the discussions and debates happen, Srila Prabhupada would easily defeat Dr. Bhogilal Patel. One time Dr. Bhogilal Patel asked him, Swamiji, you are calling this scientists rascals, etc. But in the Bhagavad Gita says, Pandita Samadarshana. Krishna says in the Bhagavad. So, Swamiji, how can you, he was indicating that how can you do that? So Prabhupada said, he stopped in his tracks and he took his cane and his lathi and he pointed it at his all white disciples, Western disciples, and said, our version of Pandita Samadarshana is that we give Krishna conscious equally to everyone. So according to the scriptures, a sannyasi is not supposed to cross the ocean. Most of the sannyasis take kutichak sannyas. They sit in one place in the dham, they build a hut and they take sannyas there, kshetra sannyas. They don't leave the dham. There are so many in Vrindavan, they've taken a vow never to leave Vrindavan. It's all right, but higher than that, they are known as bhajananandis. They are known as bhajananandis. They do their own bhajan. Like Prahlad Maharaj says in his prayers that there are so many who sit in the caverns or the caves of the Himalayas and the deep forests. But my dear Narasimhadev, if you really want to give me something after Narasimhadev insisted, then I'm so pleased. He said, there's nothing for me to ask you. I've just seen my father. Tavakara Kamalavare Nakam Adbhuta Shringam Dalita Hiranya Kashu Tanu Bringa. This personality whose name is Hiranya, who is got gold, so much wealth, and Kashipu, so much comfort, nice beds, silk clothes, enjoyment with so many women, soft enjoyments, all he has. Everything in the three worlds, everybody was shivering, even the demigods in the heavenly planets and the denizens, just when he raised his eyebrow. So he had everything. And I saw him, you just killed him like a little wasp. Tanu, bring down. So what is there to ask in this material world? If you want to do something, deliver my father. Oh, Prahlad, that is already granted. You don't have to ask for it. 21 generations in the past and 21 generations yet to come. They're all delivered. So sometimes that question arises within the devotee community. Some devotees say that we have taken to Krishna consciousness, but our family is not cooperative. And I wish that my parents would give up meat. Some they say, especially in the West, and even in India nowadays, everybody is copying the West. So much, even so-called Brahmin family, uh, people who are born, so-called Vaishnava family, they take meat, fish, etc. So, to them, I only say that you try your best and after that, leave them because otherwise we will be committing Nam Aparad number 9 to preach the glories of the holy names to unfaithful persons. But if we become good devotees, just like Prahlad Maharaj's most demoniac father was delivered, our kin will receive the mercy of Krishna. So we do not have to make a very separate endeavor. If they come, it's okay. If they do not, then we leave it to Krishna. But we become good devotees so that, we not only please His divine grace, but also the benefit will radiate to others. It will extend to others. So that is Pranaya Karunya Ghana Ganatva. So much mercy. So Prahlad Maharaj said that, my dear Nrsimhadev Bhagwan, because you are insisting, okay, you want to give me something, then give me two things, two very important things. And that should be each one of our prayers from Prahlad Maharaj, that may no material desires arise in my heart. Somehow or the other, that was the original topic. Radha Madan Gopal had said in the morning we will do Prahlad Maharaj's prayers, but then we had a discussion and said that this is Samsara Davanam is pretty extensive, so why don't, so suggestion came that do both sessions. We will Gokul in the afternoon and in the morning, and we can continue the whole thing. So, but anyways, this came to my thought. So he said, first thing, Prahlad Maharaj said, no material desires, if you want to grant me, should appear in my heart. And the second thing is that my Gurudev, Naranji, has given me Krishna consciousness. He has imparted to me. So I do not even want to go to Vaikuntha. I do not want to go to Vaikuntha. I simply want to eternally serve Him. So please grant me that. Because there is a need of Krishna consciousness all over the material world. And he goes around and I only want to assist him. So these two prayers are amazing of Sri Prahlad Maharaj. Every time, we are in front of Lord Nrsimhadev, we should pray like that within our hearts, that please. And that is why we always pray that it is not important to go back home, back to Godhead. None of our acharyas prayed for that. Prabhupada actually gave this more or less like a child is told by the parents, if you do your homework completed, we will give you ice cream. So in the beginning, to encourage all the devotees that if you chant minimum 16 good rounds and if you follow the four regular principles, you will go back to Godhead. It is a fact that if one does that, they will go to backward because Krishna must listen to his pure devotee. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says in the first introductory song of Sharanagati, uh, what is that song? Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Jive Daya Tori Swa Parshad Shiyo Dham Sahutari Atyanta Durlabha Prem Puri Bari Dham Dan Shikaya Sharanagati Bhakatero Pran. And then in that verse, it says that Sharanga Sharanagati Hoi Vijay Tar Prarthana Sune Vrajendra Kumar. So a personality or a great devotee or a pure devotee, when he is fully surrendered with the six limbs of Sharanagati as mentioned in the Hari Bhakti Vilas, Dainya, Atmanivedam, Gopti Devaran, Avashya Rakshite, Krishna Vishwas Palan, Bhakti Anukul Karya Karega Svikar, Bhakti Pratikul Karya Varjan Angikar. Humility, Dainya, Atmanivedam, full surrender of the self, everything like Manasa Deha Viha Jo Kichumora, Arpilu Tuvapade Nanda Kishore. That is, so Bhaktivinoda Thakurji has written this Sharanagati songs in 6 sections, different songs, some 6 songs, some 7, some 5, like that he has written in every section. So in humility section he has written some songs, then Atmaneva, complete surrender, then Gopinavar, Krishna is indeed my provider, not my degree, not my material qualifications. All this roti kapda makan is all coming because of the mercy of Krishna. Even a Vaishnava who is extremely rich in all respects, he will always be very humble. It is not me, it is Krishna who is providing. Gupta. And Gopinavar Varna also means that he is the Gupta Jagannath, meaning in Vrindavan, he is the Gupta. He provides all the desires of the devotees he fulfills. So he is the Gupta there. Another meaning. Like I said, there are always rasic meanings of so many different words in verses and even in Vaishnava. In one bhajan he says, Ki jani ki bale tomar dhamite hoinu sharanagata. And in that is Tumi to Gupta Jagannath. So you are indeed the provider, O Lord of the universe. So, like this, Gopti Devar Avashya Rakshante Krishna Vishwasam. I have full faith that Krishna will always protect me. Bhakti Anukula Karya Karanja Svikar. We should always do activities, perform activities that are conducive to bhakti. And bhakti pratikul bhav varjanamikar. Those activities that are not conducive to bhakti, we should reject. So this is from Hari Bhakti Vilas that the Vaishnava Acharyas have taken the Shastra and presented in a very simple form. But those who have completely surrendered, Sharanga Sharanagati Hoive, all the 6 limbs of surrender are there. Hoive Tar Pratna Sune Vrajendra Kumar. Krishna must listen to them. Vrajendra Kumar, particular word means the son of Nanda Maharaj, the young son of Nanda Maharaj, the Govinda Vadi Purusha, Janmadiyasya, everything happening from him. That Vrajendra Kumar, the Kishore Krishna, Vrajendra Kumar. Kumar means the 16-year-old, 15 months, 15 years and 9-month-old Krishna to be exact. Vrajendra Kumar. So that shows the bhav of Sri Bhaktivinoda Thakur as Kamla Manjari. It is expressed even in this word Vrajendra Kumar. Because the gopis used to say that Vrajendra Kumar, Nanda Kumar, such words they use when they address Krishna sometimes. Why they would use those words? Because Nanda Maharaj is very soft-hearted. And adding that word Nanda Kumar or Vrajendra Kumar, Vrajendra means, Indra means king. And Vrajendra means the king of Vraj is Nanda Maharaj. So, reminding Krishna, look how soft-hearted your father Krishna is, and look how hard-headed you are. You are giving us a hard time. Even in Gopi Gita, what is that verse? Akila Dehi Nam Nanda Bhavan. Right? Akila Dehi Nam Nanda Bhavan. Antaratma Drik. Yeah. But the Nanda Bhavan, Acharyas have commented that here you are actually, uh, you think you are born of Nanda Maharaj, but to us, I don't think you are the son of Nanda Maharaj. Double meaning. Double meaning. I don't think we are because Nanda Maharaj is very soft-hearted. There is a commentary on the Gopi Gita where we had read this. So, whatever the words, like Tava Katha Amrit, they have taken it by listening to your Katha, we, all the time we talk about you, but it's just bringing us death, not nectar. Because in your separation, we are dying. So beautiful. See, that is why our acharyas, they churn. When we read these things, those bhavas would come in. So that is what our Srila Prabhupada is. Bhuvi Giranti Bhuri Daja. So they are, those who are sitting in one place, they are also great. They are doing their own bhajan anandi. Prabhupada was bhajan anandi at one time in Vrindavan for 10 years. 10 years. But then he remembered, my Guru Maharaj instructed me when I was young that you should go to preach to the English speaking world. And when you get money, print books. These were his instructions. So Prabhupada was thinking, I am so unfortunate that I have not done that yet. Sitting in Vrindavan as a bhajana only. Then he decided to come. He begged Mrs. Sumati Murarji. He went to Mumbai, sat on the steps of the India Shipping Corporation for days, so that one day she will pass and she will, because a big man you cannot just meet. If you want to go see Ambani, you cannot meet him. You have to have either the proper connection or you have to have some qualification to even walk into his office or somebody big. So how can a CEO of a big shipping corporation, Prabhupada, how he could meet? One day she came finally. So much desire to serve Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Swamiji, where are you from? I'm from Vrindavan. And he says, please come into my office. And he gives an appointment next day. Mr. Choksi says, give him the appointment. And she was a Vaishnavi from the Pushti Marg. So she valued Vaishnavas, sadhus. And like that, he begged for a ticket and she said, no, you're old, I cannot. This is a cargo ship, not a cruise liner. But somehow the other, the order of the spiritual master, you are a Vaishnavi yourself. So finally she gave in and gave Prabhupada the passage to Vrindavan on the Jaldu. And Prabhupada, the rest is history. After landing, how he made hippies into happies. And he gave everybody Krishna consciousness without any distinction, which he told. And Dr. Bhovilal Patel was completely astounded when he heard that. We give Krishna consciousness without making any distinction. We give it to all. Dina hina jatha chido harina me udharito tar sakshi jagat badaya. Lord Nityananda's mercy, that our Prabhupada gave us. Pranaya karunya vinayana praptasya kalyan, obtained it from the parampara. Gudana was translated Vande Guroho Sri Chandragata. So in the first verse, the word Guroho is also very important. Many of devotees I hear, they say Vande Guru Sri Chandragata. It is slightly mispronunciation. It is not that that Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is praying only to his Guru Radharaman Chakravarti Thakur. He was initiated by Radharaman Chakravarti Thakur, who was initiated by Sripad Ganganarayan Chakravarti Thakur, and Ganganarayan Chakravarti Thakur was initiated by Sri Narottam Das Thakur. So he did not just remember his Guru. Very, very important tattva that we have to understand. He's saying Guru Ho, it's plural. Even when we sing this prayer, Vandeham Shri Guru, it's Guroh. Again, it is plural. Not Vandeham Sri Guru. Why is that? Because even our Guru has obtained that Praptasya Kalyan. He has obtained it. So we are grateful to the entire parampara. Vishwanath Chaudhary Thakur, when he saying, I offer my obeisances unto all those great acharyas, Guru Ho, Vande Guru Ho Sri Charana, unto that lotus feet. So we should be very careful. We find that sometimes that within our glorious movement, there is some kind of a little bit uh, Kanishta thinking, where we are disciples of a certain guru. So we only entertain or we have some affection for our guru bhais and guru sisters, God brothers and God sisters, and the rest not much. Uh, a few years ago, I had heard that there was in the Canada area, they started a satsang, but it was only exclusively for our God brothers and God sisters. Uh, it- so I felt that is not the right attitude. We sing this bhajan, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu, Daya Karo More. I mentioned that there were two bhajans in particular that Narottam Das Thakur had composed. They were both composed in separation. First one that we just sang today, and we sing it on every Acharya's disappearance, Jai Anila Premadana. And the second one is Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Karo More. Especially at the end, he's singing Daya Karo Sri Acharya Prabhu Srinivas Ramachandra Sangha Mange Narottam Das. So who is that Ramachandra? Not Lord Ramachandra Dashrath Nandan. It is Ramachandra Kaviraj, who was also a disciple of in the line of Narottam Das Thakur. I think either he was a direct disciple or he was also a disciple of Ganganarayan Chakravarti, the grand disciple of Narottam Das Thakur. And yes, he was the grand disciple of Narottam Das Thakur. And actually, Narottam Das Thakur, it is said that he's composed this Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Karo More and the disappearance of this Kaviraj, Ramachandra Kaviraj. So much affection. God knew in one sense, right? Uh, he was, and at his disappearance, he felt that so much pain in his heart. So when we see, that is the example, excuse me, Haribol. When our parampara is Bhagavad Parampara, and Bhagavad Parampara, the prominence is not only for Diksha Guru but Siksha Guru. Very important. Let's think about it a little bit. When I like to give this example in India, even today, back in the old days, I know for sure in my very younger days, most of the families were joint families. And in joint family, there are so many family members. There's the father's many brothers, they all live under one roof, and then their wives, meaning the aunties, the kakis, etc. And then there is also grandfather, grandmother, and then there's also the elder uncles, sons are there, like cousins. So just think about this. When a new child is born in that family, in that joint family, how much love they receive from each family member, just not from their own father and mother, but from all the uncles, from all the aunties, from all the cousins, the elder cousins, whether cousin sister or cousin brothers, etc. They get so much love from the grandfather, grandmother. But nowadays, what is happening is, as Kali Yuga is advancing, we find that the youngsters, when they get married, or even before getting married, they have to get their own apartment or they have to get their own housing. That is the conditions that they put. Sometimes the boys go to see girls, and then they say that the parents of the girls ask, "Do you have your own place to stay?" One time in Toronto, one young boy came and said, "Uncle, Auntie, I'm going to India. and my parents are insisting that I get married. So this time my trip will be that I will go see some girls that my parents have already selected. And then after a few months, he came back and he was telling me that uncle, you know what? I was shocked at the questions that some of the girls personally asked me. One girl asked me how much uh, baggage you have. Another girl asked me how much garbage you have. And I'm like, I don't understand the question. So baggage means you have other family members in your family. Like, do you have other brothers, sisters, and others living with you? So if you have baggage, I don't want to, you have to get your own apartment. And somebody used the word garbage. This is the situation that we have. So if we have that same mentality, applying that example, that if we just keep ourselves confined to just our Diksha Guru, then we will be bereft of the love of all the other Siksha Gurus that are present in our glorious group. We must give them as much respect and love as much as we give toward honor to our Diksha Guru. And the perfect example that really comes to my mind is His Holiness Radharaj. All his god brothers, he so much. As a matter of fact, I remember in Chopati, he had a Vyasasana made so long that any time any of his god brothers came, and even when His Holiness was sitting on the Vyasasana giving classes, he himself made his god brothers sit on the Vyasasana. We find in the example of Srila Prabhupada. On one Vyasasana, when Prabhupada, his senior god brother, although he was speaking, Prabhupada was invited to speak in the Gaudiya Math. And His Holiness Bhakti Rakshak Maharaj was present and he was sitting on the floor. Prabhupada said, no, 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 please come sit. And there was only Vyasas and they shared the same Vyasas. So that kind of mood, internally we should have, you know, we should have that love, respect, honor. Then and then only we will get their grace, we will get their love. Now, another point to take home. Our Guru Maharajis, respective Guru Maharajis who have initiated us, given us Diksha, right? How much really time do we get to spend? Let's be very honest with them. Uh, some of you all are very fortunate, those who are in the project of GEV continuing, maybe you all see him every day. But most of us, whether our own respective spiritual masters, sometimes once in a year, and that too, personal association, maybe 1 or 2 minutes. That too also we don't get. It's just the general during the Bhagavatam class, and after the class, we just surround the respective Maharajas and we get their darshan. Or while they are walking out of the temple, we get the darshan. Then how do we advance in Krishna consciousness? If we have the honor and the love for those Vaishnavas who are in the movement, uh, we take Siksha from them. Siksha. So, and that is the reason Sri Gaur Krishnadas Babaji Maharaj took Siksha from Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur. That prominence of Siksha Guru is displayed even on our altar. Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur had actually taken Harinam Diksha from Sripad Bipin Bihari Goswami. But his association with Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj and the love that was showered through Siksha, that is why the prominence we find of Siksha Guru of Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj on the altar. In the same song, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu, Daya Karo More, Narottam Das Thakur is saying, Daya Karo Sri Acharya Prabhu Srinivas. Srinivas Acharya, Shyamanand Pandit and Narottam Das Thakur were initiated by different gurus. Narottam Das Thakur by Sripad Loknath Goswami, Shyamanand Pandit by Sripad Vidya Chaitanya Thakur, and Srinivas Acharya was initiated by Gadadhar Pandit, I think. Maybe if anybody can correct me, just in case my memory is a little. I think it was Gadadhar Pandit. Anybody else? Any? Who? Oh, Gopal Bhatta Goswami. Thank you. Thank you. Gopal Bhatta Goswami. Yes. He is the one who actually composed the Shadaga Swami Astakam, Srinivasacharya. So Gopal Bhatta Goswami, he, so uh, all three initiated by three different Diksha Gurus, but they went to Vrindavan and Seva Kunj, Radha Damodar temple, and they took Siksha from Jiva Goswami. And there was so much bonding. So he is asking out of humility that or Sri Acharya Prabhu Srinivas. So much love. So if that attitude is there, like some of our wonderful gurus, Vande Guru Ho, Sri Chaitanya. So we should be contemplating on all of them, as many as we can, as we are singing Mangalarti. So, like this, in the next verse, Mahaprabhu Kirtan Nitya Gita Vaditra Mandya Manaso Rasena. In this, Romanchakam Pashu Taranga Bhajo Vande Guru Sri Chandaravindam. So again, there is two components to this particular verse. The sadhana of the Acharya himself. So it is not that the Acharyas are simply preaching and not doing sadhana. That is one thing that we have to learn from all our Acharyas. The minimum, or there is no minimum for them, but the prescribed rounds and the perfect sadhana to be Acharya means what? When they, through Acharan, they preach. Through their personal example. Not that we only preach and then we don't follow. So, when we are, it is a great responsibility for preachers. I sometimes feel very guilty for sitting on the Vyasasana because I'm not there. Sometimes I feel that I'm very despondent that there are so many other wonderful devotees. They are the example. And when will I get there? But somehow the other managements in respective temples, they allow me, they are showing their compassion towards me. And that way I purify myself. So we should always, as preachers means more responsibility. We have to check ourselves more. Our ashram, especially brahmacharis, sannyasis, Mahaprabhu said, Bhalona peribe, Bhalona khaibe. All these instructions of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Gramya Kathana karibe. No, don't talk, idle talk. These things, these instructions have to be taken to heart. The more we follow, the more advanced we'll get, the more sadhana in Vaidhi Bhakti will do, then the Raganoga doors are waiting for us to open. Then we will be able to enter into the Vrindavan mode. Then from Mahamaya, we'll be handed over to Yogamaya. Don't we want to be there? Every day we pray. They say there is no rasa. There is no rasa. Those people who were saying that your Swami Maharaj cannot give you rasa, your Prabhupada, you have to come to us. To them, did not Prabhupada establish the protocol of which arti will be sung when? Don't we sing Tulsi arti in the morning? What is Tulsi arti? Amoroy abhilash vilas kunje diyovas. Noyane heri vasada jugala ruparas. So, our abhilasha is not that we will be ending up in Vaikuntha. In, in, in Vrindavan and in Madhurya Rasa, right there. More abhilasha, it is my desire, O Tulsi Devi. You are in charge of Vrindavan. Radharani has given you the name of Vrindavaneshwari. She has personally made you in charge. Krishna has personally made you in charge. So Yogmaya, Vrinda Devi, Purnamasi, they are the same, but just expansions that have expanded to enhance the pastimes of Radha and Krishna. So, Seva Adhikara Diya, please give me, engage me in the service. That Seva Adhikar comes to become Dasi and Udasi in Vraj. Karo Nija Dasi. Please make me your servant or your Dasi. The word Dasi is there. That is an indication we should see that it is Manjari Bhav. Karo Nija Das, no, Karo Nija Dasi. So some of these words are keywords to give us an insight who we are. That's the first session yesterday when I mentioned. Our Gaudiya Vaishnava Parampara is not ordinary. It is all Vraj Bhav and all Madhurya Rasa. So, so Guru also does sadhana. So Mahaprabhu Kirtan, Nitya Gita, when he's in ecstasy, the Acharya, he always does Kirtan that is approved by Mahaprabhu. Uh, Very important. That is why in ISKCON we do not allow somebody from other sampradayas, they come, most welcome, take darshan. But we do not let them speak or we do not let them do kirtan if it is not in Mahaprabhu's line. Sometimes they feel bad, but they will not understand why it is so. Very important tattva. Bhaktivinoda Thakur ji says in that bhajan, which we sing generally on Ekadashi, Shuddha Bhakata Charana Renu, Gaura Vihita Kirtana Suni, Ananda Hridaya Nache. Gaura Vihita. Those kirtans that are approved by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And that is why we find in Bengal, there are so many apasampradayas. 13. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur ji has identified 13 apasampradayas. Aul, Baul, Karta Bhaja, Shankar Chuda. Like that, there are so many. Sakhi Beki. So those sampradayas, Sakhi Beki is those who are imitating. They are sahajyas. That, oh, I am Gopi and you are Krishna. And they do behind closed doors all those leelas that happened in Vrindavan, imitation. So in Sahaja, Sahaja means to take everything very casually, to take everything for granted. It's so easy to get Vraj Prem, it's so easy to get Gopi Bhava. Just imagining and behaving like that. Some of the males, they wear a sari and they dance, and then there is one male and they do a Raslila. These things are happening. And that is why at that time when Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur was present, so they used to, some of the kirtans, even in Vrindavan, they are Aul and Baul. They sing the glories of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda, but they are not bona fide. There is one, especially in a sort of a deviated Nityanand Parivar. They call them Nityanand Parivar, but they sing Bhajo Gaura Nitai Radhe Krishna Radhe Shyam Hare Krishna Hare Ram. Something like that. Forgive me if I don't remember the entire mantra. They sing like that. Never. One time Srila Prabhupada was very upset. I think it was in Mumbai and Prabhupada was listening to the kirtan of one devotee and he was saying, Bhaja Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda. So Prabhupada said, who taught you Bhaja? No. There are kirtan standards. Recently, in Vrindavan, during Kartik, after our seminar in Damodarashtakam, His Holiness Bhakti Janardhan Maharaj gave a 3-day seminar on Kirtan standards. What are the Kirtan standards? So we have to be very careful. We don't sing. There are many other Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis in other sampradayas, but we don't sing their songs. Like Mirabai, she is a great Vaishnavi. I used to, many years ago, because I was inclined towards music and bhajans, I liked some of Mirabai's songs. This is about maybe 20, 22 years ago. And I learned them and I used to play them. And sometimes when I went to different programs, I used to sing them. And in that, Mere to girdhar Gopal, dusra na koi. So, later on, as I read through the books of the Acharyas, it is not in line of Gaudiya Vaishnavism. She is Vipaksha Gopi. She takes away Krishna from Radharani. So, no. So then from that moment, I stopped singing. Only strictly Gaudiya Vaishnava bhajans. Nothing else. Hari Bol. So only Gaudiya Vaishnava bhajans. No, nothing. We should be exclusively Gaura Vihita Kirtana Suni, Hridaya Ananda Nachan. And when we understand and the essence of those Vaishnava bhajans, our heart will jump in joy. So Mahaprabhu Kirtan Nitya Gita. And when that ecstasy comes, the Acharya dances. This is not some dry program. Krishna consciousness, you just sit in trance. Oh, no, not like that. Thinking on nothing. Nowadays, these yoga clubs are very popular even in the US. And they say that you can't, and Prabhupada would say they would simply make them, sit in so-called meditation, so they are simply sitting and sleeping. And you're paying money for joining those yoga clubs. No, that is not. The perfect yogi is the Krishna conscious devotee, always thinking of Krishna. Yoga means to connect in Krishna's service, connect in the service of the acharyas, connect in the service of Krishna and Radharani's associates. That is real yoga. Everything is just, you know, even Patanjali yoga is okay, but not even comparable to the yoga that the devotees, the Vaishnavas do. Gauravi, the kirtans in the Hriday Ananda Nacha. One time, Srila Prabhupada, do you all know? Of course, you all will know, you are all erudite scholars here. But still, uh, who was the first Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada's disciple? Yes, Acharya Commentaries Prabhu, Indian body, but in Jhansi, before Prabhupada came to the West. So one time Srila Prabhupada was just celebrating Janmashtami with Acharya Prabhu, and in the one room. And Prabhupada actually there was more than one room. In the second room he had gone, and at midnight Prabhupada went inside, and he was in such ecstasy that Acharya Prabhu heard some wonderful mridanga playing. Prabhupada was an expert mridanga player and also a harmonium player. And he was dancing, you could hear, and singing in ecstasy. And when he came out, there was a nice, wonderful long garland on him. Uh, and Acharya Prabhu was in shock because those flowers and that the garland was not available locally. How did that happen? So Prabhupada revealed, Krishna gave it to me. So we find that there are some instances where Prabhupada generally doesn't reveal all these things, but he revealed it at that time. So he was dancing in ecstasy. When Prabhupada sings his Mahamantra, it is so amazing, no comparison. When Prabhupada sings the Guruvashtakam, Vande Rupa Sanatana Raghu Jugo, deep. When he's singing, He Radhe Vraja Devaki Chalalite, He Nanda Suno Puto. Where are you? He's feeling that separation. When we heard those songs that Srila Prabhupada has sung, so many of them he has sung Vaishnava bhajans, especially when he had a lot of time in the older days. And then they recorded it, and then later on they added music. Some of the accompaniment came in after the recording. Prabhupada sometimes was just chanted on kirtan, and sometimes just on mridanga, sometimes just on harmonium. And then they later on added, with the expert musicians, they added the musical instruments. But still, just heart rendering if we hear Sri song vibration. Simply, even the chanting of the Mahamantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, so transcendental. That's why in every temple, they put Prabhupada's recording during the chanting time. Yeah, sit properly. So amazing. Yeah, that is our Srila Prabhupada. So Mahaprabhu Kirtan Nitya Gita, Vaditra Madhyan Manasora Sena. Our acharyas are experts in musical instruments. Why? Where did they learn it from? They learned it from Srimati Radharani and the other Manjaris. Because that's their eternal constitutional position. Vaditra Madhyan. Manasora Sena means they're completely absorbed in their internal bhav on the Radha Krishna's Leelas. Manasa, Rasena, full of rasa, Madhuri Ras activities. Manaso Rasena. And what is the result when they are absorbed in the Leelas of Raj in Madhuri Rasa? Romancha, horripilation, standing of the hairs. That word is horripilation. Romancha, Kampan, they start shivering. Ashru Taranga, rivers and rivulets of tears flow from their eyes. The Ashtasattvic Vikars happen. What is that verse of Chaitanya Sishtastakam that Mahaprabhu is in a very humble mood, is aspiring. He's already there. But in spite of that, he's saying, I don't have that. Nayanam Galadashnu Dharaya, Avadanam Gad Gadar Daya Gira, Pulakir Nichitam Vapukada, Tavanam Griyaneshu Bhavashyati. When will that happen? It is already happening to him, but he's saying, when will it happen? As if he is not experiencing it. Even in that separation, those ecstatic symptoms are happening, but he feels that they are not happening. He is not sufficiently feeling that separation, feeling that those ecstasy. That is a devotee. In spite of doing, some of us with neophyte mentalities, if we do some seva, we want to think, oh, we have done a lot of seva. We want to pat ourselves on the back. If we do 32 rounds, we want to advertise it to the whole world. On Ekadashi, I do 64 rounds. Why need to advertise? This is something internal. No need to advertise how many rounds we are doing. No need to do that. So those who are of that mood will think, even this is not sufficient. Like Rupa Goswami says, even if I have thousands and thousands of mouths and thousands of years, I'm paryapta nahi hu main. I cannot sufficiently glorify Krishna, or I cannot sufficiently hear the glories of Krishna. So Mahaprabhu Kirtan Nitya Gita Vaditra Madhyan Manaso Rasena Romancha Kampashno Taranga Bhajo Vande Guruho Sri Charna Ravindam. So this is the sadhana of even the Acharya, not that only they preach. First we have this process of Shraddha. So Shraddha we get sadhusam. Somebody was asking me yesterday about the different delineations. So I will quickly mention that here. So Shraddha and sadhusam is basically, leads to hearing and chanting in Vaidhi Bhakti. Dancing, taking prasadam, and taking ashraya of Panchatattva. Taking ashraya of Panchatattva. Then Bhajana Kriya and Anartha Nivritti, where all the different processes that have been shown by the Vaishnavas, please chant, follow the four regular principles, take Diksha. When you're serious and when and you're doing your sadhana properly, then that is all part of Bhajana Kriya. And after Bhajan Kriya, all our anarthas are eradicated. Yesterday evening we mentioned the anarthas very briefly, all the four categories and the subcategories. So that is when we take anarthas are eradicated, when we take Guru Ashray and we properly do our sadhana in Vaidhi Bhakti. When we take Guru Ashray and we do Archanam. Archanam means we actually worship the deity. That is part of the process of Vaidhi Bhakti. And at that time, we take shelter of the Sambandha Thakur, which is Radha Madan Mohan. So when we advance in the stage of Bhajan Kriya and Anartha Nivritti, at that time we take Radha Madan Mohanji is very kind to that devotee. After that, what happens? We come to the stage of Nishtha and Ruchi. Nishtha means we are completely fixed, and Ruchi means real genuine taste comes in Krishna consciousness. So we get that Raganuga Lobha, that greed, in Nishtha and Ruchi stage. And in that we get Shravan Dasha. We are inclined to hear more and more Raganuga topics. Shravan Dasha. And residing in Vraj. Our inclination is that I want to reside in Vrindavan. Of course, Govardhan village is not different from Vrindavan. The new Vrindavan, Prabhupada said, in West Virginia, USA, is not different from Vrindavan. So, these facilities are there. Somehow or the other, when that happens, so you all are Vrajvasis. Shravan Dasa, staying in Raj, and then at that time, in Nishtha and Ruchi stage, we get special mercy of Radha Govind Devji, the Abhidhay Thakur, who will help us in the process, who will give us mercy. And then in Asakti stage, the next stage after ruchi, where there is complete attachment. So these are the symptoms of our acharyas that I'm speaking, that they give us. And personally, they are on the highest stage of prema. But they are capable of giving all this. It is not that Prabhupada is not able to give us and he will just give us the first two stages of bhajan kriya. No, he is going to give us all of that. And in that there is varana dasha in asakti stage. We are always absorbed when we are chanting in the form of Krishna. There's a very advanced stage when we are able to nicely see the form of Krishna when we're chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. From his toenails to his beautiful moon-like face. Just on chanting, many, many rounds can pass. Simply, if we, in every little part, detail of Krishna's lotus body, we can, Radharani's lotus body, the imprints on the lotus feet, the different lines that are there on the lotus feet of Krishna they concentrate the devotees on Mahaprabhu's lotus feet. So that happens in the state of asakti. Then there is Ekadash Bhav. In the state of we know that it is revealed to us the 11 symptoms, who we are and what our service is, what is our tilak, who under which gopi or manjari we will be serving, where is our residence. So there are 11 such symptoms. It is known as Ekadash Bhav, or it is called Siddha Pranali. It is revealed to us when we reach that platform. And then also we will have the smaran of the different Ashtakaliya Leelas. We will have the different the divisions of the day, the 24 hours of Radha and Krishna's pastimes and the associates. So that smaran will come to us. So that time we have already entered into Raganuga Bhakti. And in Bhav, which is the second last stage before Prema, we attain Siddha platform. That Siddha platform, that is due to the Samadhi that we get, and at that time we have attained our Prayojan, the final goal of Krishna Prem. And at that time we are under the full mercy of Radha Gopinath. Now what does that mean? Radha Gopinath specifically, Sriman Rasana Swarambi Vamshi Vatastita Karshana Swaram Gopi. He is situated in Vamshivat, in Vrindavan, and under the full moon night, he is calling out the gopis, with his Vamshi, in Vamshivat. So that is the Maharas that is going to happen. So that shows that now Gopinath has accepted us into the Maharas as a Manjari or a Gopi to take participation in the Maharas, that acceptance. Radha Gopinath has given. Radha Gopinath means including Srimati Radharani has given us. That is why in the last verse of the Damodar Ashtakam, Namaste tu Damne Smaradviti Damne Tvadi Udarayaka Vishwasya Damne, and the last two lines, Namo Radhikaya Tvadiya Priyaye. Namo Radhikaya means offer my obeisances to Srimati Radharani. Tvadiya Priyaye also two meanings. Most dear to you, O Krishna, is Srimati Radharani. And Tvadiya also means all the Manjariyas and Gopis. Tvadiya means all the Manjaris and Gopis, by their mercy, Satyavrat Muni was allowed entrance into Madhurya Rasa. And that is why I mentioned that at verse number 4, Idam te Vapurnatham Gopalamanam. So, what has that got to do with us? It appears right there, and it is a fact that until that point he was attracted to Vatsalya Rasa. But his greed grew into Madhurya Rasa. And it is granted to him. That is Sanatana Goswami, Jiva Goswami has, because it is ultimately leading to the Madhurya Rasa that Saptavrat Muni eventually obtained. Very nice commentary. Please read Digdarshan Hari Bhakti Vilas. And he has actually given commentary in Sanskrit. And then it has been translated. There are many good Vaishnavas. Bhakti Siddhanta Prabhupada has given commentary, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakurji. The the darshan on these verses of Damodarashtakam. So, in the bhav stage, we get the samadhi platform by the mercy of Radha Gopinath. So, sitting here, we get to know our seva and we are concentrating on our seva. Although we are in this body, we are not in this body. We are on a transcendental platform. Like Narottam Das Thakur, as Champak Lata Manjari, when he's chanting the holy names, he's concentrating on his seva. One of his sevas is to make some nice milk for Radha Krishna with some saffron, camphor, with some nice dry fruits, wonderful milk. So he heats the milk up, he's chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, sitting there and he's thinking of his seva on that platform. And the milk, he's thinking, I'm putting the milk now, slowly it will boil, and at that time I will stir it and I will add saffron in it. And suddenly the milk actually boils and almost it's starting to overflow. Just like in Damodar Leela, the milk is just overflowing and our Mother Yashoda stops it. So Narottam Das Thakur immediately, not looking here there in his samadhi, he picks up that hot vessel with his bare fingers and he puts it down. Because that milk is also Vaishnava. It cannot be wasted. It is in the service of Radha and Krishna. That is the bhav. Everything in the spiritual world, they're all Vaishnavas. There's nothing known as sthul, nothing gross, nothing inanimate. Everything, whether it is a table or Krishna's flute, a bamboo in this material world is considered inanimate, no life. But Krishna's flute is a sakhi. Vipinamahu Murali, Hatha Saji, Saji, the word, one Vaishnava Acharya in Vraj who has written this bhajan in Vraj Bhav. So, Vipinamahu, in the forest, Krishna's hand is decorated with this sakhi. Hatha Saji. Saji is feminine. Navala Kishore, Navala Manamohana, Vamshi Vatabaji. Like he placed this in the Vamshi Vat. So we find that everything is all Vaishnavas. So we have to take care of Vaishnavas. Mother Yashoda used to chastise Krishna many times. That look what you have done to your wonderful new dress that I just put on you. You have carelessly dropped all makhan and you have put all mud all over this dress. So our Acharyas commented there has to be mamta, even for the objects. There has to be a liking, a deep liking, because that is they are used in Krishna's service. So one can even, if one is of that level, you can even chastise Krishna, like Mother Yashoda, that you are making a mess of these clothes, in order to teach him that don't do this, because ultimately they are all Vaishnavas. So Narottam Das Thakur, when he came out of his samadhi, we are talking about that stage, that his fingers were burnt. And when some Varishta Vaishnava saw it, what happened, Narottam? And he simply smiled. And then the Varishta Vaishnava, who was a contemporary, I don't remember his name, he said, I know what you are doing. You are in your meditation of Champak Lata and you are heating up the milk and you didn't get enough time to get the sansi or some tongs to take the milk off the stove. So that is the stage of samadhi and then prema, which is the siddha platform, which is known as apana sampati dasha. Apana sampati dasha means Hare Krishna. You remember yesterday I said what is the difference between the Bamya gopis and the Dakshin gopis? Anybody can quickly mention? Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, but there is one more very important quality which the word apana dasha indicates in prema. If you have recollect, the Dakshin gopis of Dakshin Bhav devotees, they are submissive. that we are yours. But in the Bhamya Bhav, you are ours, Krishna. Super possessiveness. So here, this dasha, which is known as Apana Dasha Sampatti. You are mine. Sampatti. Apana Dasha. That dasha means that stage or that consciousness. Manjari is dictated. Hey Krishna, where were you? Radharani is crying inside. Why did you come late? Don't do this. They chastise Krishna. Because Krishna is there. But Radharani is Apana Dasha Sampatti. That is Bhattulyaras. That is Mahabharata. And in Apana Dasha Sampati, Srimati Radharani has got the highest, which no other gopis can attain, is Madanakyam Mohanakyam, which nobody can attain. It is exclusively the domain and the property or the rights of Srimati Radharani. And the Madanakyam Mohanakyam Bhav is the 10 symptoms in Brahmargyan. When she reaches that stage, incoherently talking to the trees, talking to the bee, like, a mad person. We have seen mad people. They're talking, they're simply shaking their hands, speaking incoherently. So that dasha happens at the highest ecstasy. So that is what our acharyas are all about. When they're chanting the holy names, what is going through? That Apanna Dasha Sampati in their sadhana, which is their Raga Atmika Bhakti sadhana. Sadhana will always remain, whether Vaidhi Bhakti sadhana or so Vaidhi or Raga Nuga, whether we are in Nishti, Vaidhi, Shraddha, Sadhu, Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, Anartha Nivritti, we still have to do sadhana. That is in Vaidhi. And Vaidhi or Raga Nuga, whatever stage may be, Nishtha, Ruchi, Asakti, Bhav, and then that sadhana will always remain. That way, we will always be absorbed in Krishna consciousness, but different levels of Krishna. So, Mahaprabhu Kirtan Nitya Gita Vaditra Madhyan Manasura Sayana Ruman Chakap Pashatanga Bhajo Vande Guru Sri Charana Ravindra. One more thing before I end for today's session is the word Kirtan. Now, Kirtan also basically comes from the root Kirti. But our movement of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Sankirtan. So, what is that Sankirtan? And Kirtan and Sankirtan, when a Gaudiya Vaishnava does Kirtan, is not different from Sankirtan. Same thing. No distinction, but a very nice meaning. So, Sankirtan, the general meaning we know, like I said, there are always more than one meanings of one word, depending on who is churning. So, one common meaning, excuse me, Haribol, is that congregational chanting, right? We all come together and we chant the holy names. That is the meaning of Sankirtan. Samyak Kirtan iti Sankirtan. Samyak means complete, along with others. Another meaning of Samyak Kirtan means that distinguishes us from other sampradayas is Samyak means full, means Radha and Krishna. Either in union or separation, they're always together. Samyak Kirtan. That is our vow. So when we are chanting Sankirtan, the Mahamantra, we should always remember that. So when we go into the verse, the fifth verse, we will touch upon the qualities of the holy name, Sri Radhika Madhurya Leela Gunarupanamna. At that time, I will be sharing some small things which may be big to all of us. In terms of rasa. So that's so important. So, and this definition of Sankirtan was given by Sri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Samyak Kirtan, his absorption was like Meera, no Radharani along with Krishna. Mere to Girdhar Gopal. Just, we find that there are many sampradayas, they only have Krishna's deity, no Radharani. Like the Smartas, Brahmins in Jaipur, when Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, I was mentioning yesterday, was invited, but he was very old. And the king had invited because there was a big discrepancy that how can they keep Radharani along with Govind Devji? We don't accept this Gaudiya Bhav of Parkiya Rasa. That is antisocial. No. We cannot have that. We just want to worship Govind Devji by himself. So they had this big debate. So then the king decided, no, this great scholar in Vrindavan, he's there, great Acharya, we should call him. And let you all, then you all have a discussion. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur was invited. And then, but he could not go, so he sent his disciple Sripad Baldev Vidyabhushan. And there, Sri Baldev Vidyabhushan established that Srimad Bhagavatam is the actual perfect commentary of Vedanta Bhashya, of Vedanta Sutra. And also, we established that Gaudiya Sampradaya is bona fide. And actually, he was also in a dilemma. So at that night, next day he was supposed to present. Govindaji himself gave, and he told him that he will say this amongst the assembled Brahmanas when you are going to present yourself. And therefore that commentary later on became known as Govinda Bhashya. So these are the glories of our great Vaishnava Acharyas. So what was the last point that I was making? I said before I end. So I was talking about Sankirtan and the definition that Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada had actually extracted from that the word Sankirtan. Along with Radha and Krishna, not only Radha and Krishna, Samyak means the gopis, the manjaris, they are present. What does Krishna Kaviraj Goswami say? What is that line in Chaitanya Charitamrita? Sakhi vina lila vistar hoive na. Without the Sakhis, there is no lila vistar. The pastimes cannot happen without the Sakhis. Even if Radha and Krishna sometimes are in seclusion, but everything is arranged by the Sakhis. One Braj Bhav, one disciple of Sri Vallabhacharya, like I said, there is 2% in that Mahabhav stage, in the Gopi Bhav, that Sri Vallabhacharya would discuss, just like in Srivasanga Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So it is time to, in summertime, it is time to put Radha and Krishna to sleep. So this is at Madhya, at midnight, after the Ras Leela and everything. So now they have to rest. So they say, to cool off, Podiye lal nivas yatari, Podiye lal nivas yatari. ललितादिक सखी गण जुर आई फूल रहित फूलवारी ओढ़िए लाल निवास अटारी ओढ़िए लाल निवास अटारी कनक खीर कटोरा So like this Vaishnava Acharya has written, who is present, perhaps in that entourage, that the Lalita Vishaka and the gopis said, please come to the terrace, Radha and Krishna, Odiye Lal. Odna means to sleep, to come to sleep. Odiye Lal. Krishna is also addressed as Lal. Nivas Atari. Atari means terrace. So in the summer months, come to the terrace. It's very cooling. Lalita, Vishaka, Adi, Sakhi, Gana, Full Rahita Fulvari. They have already prepared. Lalita, Vishaka and Sakhi Gan. The Manjis have prepared a wonderful bed of roses, a wonderful bed of different flowers for them. And then Radha and Krishna lying down, ready. Somebody is slowly fanning. And they have also brought Kanaka Katora, Kira Katora in a golden bowl. They have brought some nice kheer with aromatics in it. Camphor, kesar, argaja. What is that called? Argaja is aguru, something like that. Aguru, right? That's a very nice aromatic substance that they had. That is also added in Karpur Keli. Radharani is the most perfect one. who makes karpur keli. It is made of a kheer made of banana. Bhakti Shri Bhaktivinoda Thakur has mentioned in Bhaja Bhakata Vatsala Sri Gaurari Karpur Keli. That if you read that bhajan, so that is prepared. Not only in that bhajan, we find Yashoda Mai is cooking, but also Radharani is cooking. Both of them have cooked in bhajan. Bela Vailo Damodar Aishwarya Khan, like that. He's calling, come on, it's late, Damodar, come, sit down. Nandini, Dinesh, Vaisi, Giridhari, both the Krishna and Balaram are sitting along with their sakhas. Versus sakha, versus sari. And then all the different ingredients are being served. So that is the service to Krishna. Nowadays we are offering anything we like. We just put to see pizza and pasta. His Holiness Radha Govind Maharaj says in a joking way, pizza, pasta, narak ka rasta. Poor Krishna, he has to take it because Tulsi leaf is there, but not necessarily he will like it. So, for example, if you go to somebody's house and they invite you for lunch, they very nicely serve you in a silver plate, silver bowls, and what they have prepared, the began bharta, began pakoda. Even in dal there is began, and the person who has been invited doesn't like began at all, and they are serving very nicely. So they are asking, how is it? So it's nice. Okay, then take more. So it is like this, in a very humorous way, spirit, we should take it that Krishna also, what he likes is what our acharyas are serving, what Radharani is serving, the ingredients, and then our Bhakti Vinod Thakur as Kamla Manjari has witnessed it. Witness that, those pastimes, seeing what is being offered because they are running to the kitchen and bringing the hot puris, the kheer, stukta, the bhaji, lalit usmanda, karpura keli, amruta, all those different items that Islamai and Radharani have cooked. So that should be our, it is Anupalina Krishna Anusandam Tad Bhakti Rupta. What is Anupal to Krishna? So Krishna may not like pasta and pizza, but because Tulsi is there, then he has to take it like the poor fellow. He has to eat all that. Then he has got bagan bharta, bagan pakoda, bagan dal, bagan this, bagan that. Out of 10 items, 7 items are all made of bagan. So we are all guilty, even I am guilty, you know. We love pasta and all that. So that is something that Prabhupada gave concession to the Western world. Okay, offer it as long as there is no onion, garlic, this sattu we can offer. But what to do? Uh, But if those who are mature in their bhakti, then they will offer so many, when even in the Vallabh Sampradaya, they have given so many items that Krishna loves in the, in the home, that they only offer that. My grandmother used to do that. I understood that afterwards. Yeah. So, for example, she was in the Vatsalya Bhav, they don't offer in Vatsalya Bhav no tomato or no gajar. Why? Because it is red in color. My Lala will get scared. He will not touch it. That is one of the reasonings that the Pushti Marg devotees, so they don't offer anything red to Lala. So like this, that is the bhav. She used to say, when we used to cry, she said, don't cry. If you cry, Krishna will be unhappy. Krishna ko kashta hoga. Krishna ne kashta phase. Krishna will be, so don't cry. So that is the bhav of the advanced devotees. So like this, we find, we have discussed today, Mahaprabhu, Kirtan Nitya, Ananda Chinmaya, Rasa Pratibhavitavi, Stavirya Eva Nija Rupa Taya Kalami. Where is this Kala coming from? In Brahma Samhita, from Srimati Radharani and her most intimate associates of Vaditra Madhya, Manaso, Rasena. Thank you very much. I will end here. We will continue with verse number 3 today at Gokul. The next verse of the yes. One more thing I wanted to add, just one more minute. I remember one more very nice Rasik. So Paramanandas Ji, Rasik Vaishnava in the Vallabh Sampradaya, has written this poem or this song where Krishna is asking Radharani to sing one particular rag. It is very specific. See, that means we see that these acharyas are in that Mahabharata where they are present. So Krishna is saying, Raga Kanaro Suni Paiya Suna Bresha Hanu Nandini Radhe Tana Bandhanupam Gati So Karata Sundari Moma Sadhe. Rag Kanaro, that is one rag named Rag Kanaro. This song that I sung is also in Rag Kanaro. We had studied some ragas under the Pushti Sangeet, according to, like we will discuss it in the next verse about what is conducive to Krishna in the next verse. What is the next verse? That Sri Vigrahara in the Sringar. What are the different things that are conducive to Radha Krishna in this Sringar Ras? So we will be discussing that. So here Paramananda is saying that Krishna is saying, please, you are so expert in singing Rag Kanaro. So this, I think I remembered whatever it is. I sang it in the same song in Rag Kanaro. This song itself is in Rag Kanaro. So he says, Radhe, please sing Rag Kanaro today. So they are sitting in the Nikunja. So it is full of rasa. What is that? Ananda Chinmaya Pratibhava Bhavis rasa. It is full of rasa. So it is not something dry or repetitive. Radharani never could it is said the same thing again. That is also rasa. Radharani's rasa that Krishna should get new and new and new bhoga. Similarly, raga. So Radharani, your rag Kanaro is very nice. Please sing it. Raga Kanaro Sunine Pai. I want to hearing it. Vrishabhanu Nandini Radhe. Oh Radha, oh Vrishabhanu Nandini. Please sing that. Tara Nandama Anupama Gatiso. You are so amazing that in proper tan, you are singing. Most amazing. And therefore, kirtan should be for the pleasure of Radha and Krishna. Some we find that some so-called great kirtanyas, they want to see how many people are present. Some people, when they do katha, they want to ask, before I enter, can you make sure that the hall is full? Then they will come and sit on the Vyasasana. No, it is for the pleasure. One time in New Vrindavan, there were only 2 people in the Bhagavatam class in the morning. So my wife said after the class, you really did the Bhagavatam class with only 2 people? He said, who said there were only 2 persons? I said, then look, let's count how many people were there. 2 plus 1 3, plus we had Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra Devi, 6, Sudarshan Chakra, 7. In New Vrindavan we have these deities. Gaur Nitai, 9, Radha Vrindavan Chandra, 11, Srinath Ji, 12, Prahlad Narsingha, 14, 6 Goswamis deities are also there. 14 and 6, 20, and His Divine Grace Prabhupada. Minimum 20 are there, plus you 3, 23 persons. So, somehow or the other, we remembered Prabhupada when in San Francisco, when he gave katha in the ballroom, the devotees apologized. Entire ballroom was almost practically empty. Only few devotees were present. Prabhupada, we are so sorry. We tried and nobody came. Prabhupada said, who said nobody came? Didn't you see Naradji, Shivji, Brahmaji? They were all present. So we should also follow in the footsteps, baby steps. Just even if we are imitating, if we imitate one day, we will have that realization. So we should not hesitate. We with great gusto and happiness, whether there is 5 people or 5,000 people listening. Because we know, at least I know here, that it is my great pleasure that this blessed Govardhaniko village, we have Gauranga Mahaprabhu, Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu, and Sri Radha Vrindavan Bihari. They are listening. They listen. Like Lord Jagannath, when the Rath pulls out, he stops many times. And our Acharyas comment that they stop. Why? Even though they are trying to pull so many thousands of devotees are tugging, they don't move. Why? Because Lord Jagannath is listening to what the devotees are talking. So even the Lord is interested in listening to them. What they are speaking, what they are saying. Some are glorifying. Oh, he is looking so beautiful. Oh, his eyes are widened in love of Vrindavan. The Lord Jagannath loves them. And he showers his blessings. Jagannath Swami, Nayana Patagami, Nayana Patagami. That is our Gaudiya. So, all this Mahaprabhu Kirtan, the expertise comes, the source is Srimati Radha. Because they are in the Madhurya Ras. Nobody can sing as expertly as Radharani. Tungavidya Sakhi also, she is amazing. Sakhi. Everything passes on from. She is the mood, the root of all the 64 artistic qualities that is mentioned in the Brahma Samhita. Ananda Chinmaya Rasa Pratibhavitavis Tabirya Eva Nija Rupa Taya Kalavi. Golok Eva Nivasati Akhilatma Bhuto Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Madam. That particular verse, if we read the Bhagavatam of Divine Krishna, Bhakti Siddhanta Prabhupada, very wonderfully he has explained the characteristics of the, and he is talking about the Manjaris, the Gopis, and Srimati Radharani in this verse. Golok Eva Nivasati Akhila. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Again, thank you for your blessings. Thank you for sitting very patiently through this third session of Guruvashtakam. Hopefully, we still have how many more? Today was the third session. We have total 11 sessions, right? So 8 more. 8 more sessions. Bless me that I will be able to do justice and finish the entire Guruvashtakam. And ultimately, when we sing this, we will realize how great our Acharyas are and how much mercy they can shower upon us. Praptasya Kalyana Gunarnavasya Vande Guru Hosmi. Hare Krishna. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur Maharaj ki, all the Prabhupadas ki, Gaur Premanande Hare. Jai Gurudev, Jai Prabhupada, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki.